Hey, Patapon, Patreon, Peep Sauce fans, and everything that may fit somewhere in between. Today is Sunday, so it's the day where I gotta sit down and talk to nothing in particular, but respond to text for like an hour or so. There's a certain mechanism. Today's art is, I think, Boki versus Demo would be neat. I don't know why they would fight, but I mean, okay, let's go in an alternate reality where that's happening. Meanwhile, I'm gonna read text and respond to it in some fashion. Never thought before about that concept. Meatball Wizard starts the game with Dear Raocow. Wizard questions are fielded in front of a live studio audience. Somehow I found that doubtful. Guitar Boy, and then there's a YouTube link, and so the game truly starts. Guitar Man OST, the legendary theme, parentheses, acoustic. Oh man. And Yui Dan Ta says, where's working game plus yeah? Smile. I probably completely destroyed the meaning of what I've heard this somewhere before. One! Okay, so picture this. After the adventure is over, return to where it all began. The sun is setting, but suddenly a guy appears, and you can tell this will be the final battle. What do you say? I say, yo, what's up? Instead of fighting, why don't we go talk about the problem while picking up apples? I mean, if there's any soul left in that person, they're gonna accept the invitation. If they don't, well, in that case, I mean, the final battle's gotta go, and I know I can go all out because thing don't have a soul. So it's like, whatevs, yo. Two, what would... I misplaced my text thing here. What would you do if you're caught in a powerful blizzard and couldn't get out for a bit? As a person that lives in Canada and thus has been stuck inside a powerful blizzard, basically you just sit down and you wait it out. You have no choice. Nature don't care, and for the most part, assuming you have all the secret powers given to most humans and nothing else, there ain't nothing you're gonna be able to, you have to sit out and wait. That's just what it is. If you're stuck outside, trying to find some kind of shelter, at the very least to lean to, bundle up and wait it out. You have no choice. A blizzard will not converse with you. It will not wheel and deal with you, unfortunately. 3. There are many video games in the world, and people will learn about many of them in their lifetime. But what is your favorite video game that you have never played? That's an interesting question. Favorite video game that I have never played. In other words, again, I like a lot and I've never played, and honestly, this means I can include games that are honestly pretty terrible, but have awesome ideas, like because I don't have to play it. It's kind of hard to think about, though. A game I respect a lot from a distance is Humaniki. I've seen, like, complete walkthroughs of it, and I really like the ideas it present, but there's no way in hell that I would ever take the time myself to play it. Like, it's a very not me game, but some of the ideas it presents and a lot of the stylistic choices it makes in character design is really, really fascinating and interesting. So I don't know if it's the real answer, but it's the answer that comes to mind immediately. So it's probably somewhere up there. 4. Do ghosts have chest hair? Now, the answer may seem obvious at first glance, but I ask before you pass judgment that you hear me out. Ghosts often have white hair when they become ghosts, as white hair is inherently spookier than other hair color. In addition, many ghosts are also glowy, which, while not affecting head hair visibility that much, makes smaller clumps harder to see. Thus, if a ghost has both white hair and a glowing body, it is entirely plausible that chest hair would be invisible, and as we all know, ghosts are immune to being felt. Please pass judgment now. Well, I mean, a ghost is just a ghost person, like, and more often than not, a ghost will either be like how the situation in which the person died, or like the idealized version of themselves in their thoughts. In other words, like the way the person, you know, in their in their most highest moment of glory, like the way they remember themselves at the highest point in their life. In either way, there's nothing that precludes a person like a ghost from imagining, like, you know, for there to be like body hair or chest hair or whatever. Like if you just die, then you know you're gonna be in your dead form as a ghost, and you have a lot of body hair. There's no reason not to stick. You know what I mean? Like you said, you know, hair becomes white because it's spooky. A lot of body hair is also spooky. So, you know, if anything, that's gonna add to it. I think you were thinking that would say that they do not have body hair, but I believe the opposite, to me, is what is obvious. 5. A powerful wizard. A powerful wizard curses you to take a sarcastic tone whenever situations not call for a sarcastic tone. What is the reaction? Well, looks like I'm just gonna be speaking like a teenager for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, this will make all my videos in the future sound really dumb and kind of bad, because this is gonna sound like I'm gonna have like an attitude at all times. That's not really something I want, but I mean, maybe I can deal with the wizard and, you know, try to change, say, okay, I'll take that, it's okay. I'll try to explain that to my close ones. But I'll try to make it so that when I'm making a video or something, it can be turned off. In that case, afterwards, I just need to live stream everything of my life for the rest of time, and everything will be fine. And then I can think, I've got one over a wizard. 6, knock knock, who's there? Jambalaya Johnson, explorer at large, and owner of like 55 cashews, meticulously labeled and counted, and you know, they just kind of hang around in the stratosphere, like just above him. They track him through GPS. The wonders of technology, man. P.S. Your British accent sounds like a talking cartoon moose. P.S.S. I do not ride meatballs. I simply like both meatballs and riders. This is the true origin of this internet handle. I realize this name may be deceptive, but it makes for a somewhat good story, perhaps. And writers with a capital R? What's that? Let's do some internet research. Let's see here. Writers with a capital R. What's that? There's a sports team here, Ottawa Rough Rider, and there's theater. Set of request or demand, a performance set as a for performance. That would make sense with the series of questions you keep making, and it's kind of like how crazy they can get. So I'm gonna go with that. You know what? It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. Nikuishi, don't you agree that there's a bit too much sense making today? Nikuishi, you missed part of my post from last week, but I'll just repost it. No, okay. Sorry about that, sometimes it happens. Since Bowser Jr. is one of the characters you like playing in Smash, have a combo vid for him. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but please at least look at a part at a timestamp provided. I know the music from last week was used for the Shroud Lord fight in DT1. I was trying to foreshadow a bit, but I don't think I'll do that again, considering I have timed things well a week in advance. That is true. Alright, let's check that out real quick here. Just real quick here. We've got some Smash Brothers. Beautiful Mind. Whoa, this is a... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, Baby Bowser, he's kinda insane when he wants to be. And that's kind of like why I like him. Also, you know, the clown car has a tongue. No, Baby Bowser is super technical. Jeez, that was a movie effect. It's gonna take a little while. I'd rather continue to go on about the questions and stuff. But I saw the parts you wanted to saw. And here we go here with this week's music. It's also a video on YouTube. And here we go, Dragon Roost Island! Oh, I love the song. It's by far, one of the best songs of Wind Waker. Dragon Roost. Oh man, it totally is. What have we got down here? And Strife 07's all like, Link's a better version. Sounds so much better with the bass. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go with this version because, yo, man. Question 1! Questions! Exclamation point 1. Period. Will you be doing Super Cat Planet at some point? Probably. Like, I get the feeling that it's gonna get nominated in the Patreon votes. I'm not too worried about it. Like, my problem is that I believe it's not made by the original author. Like, I'm sure it's a fine, funny game, but the fact it's from a different author kind of quells my my willingness a little bit. But it's gonna get request formally, and I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not watching any videos of it anywhere ever, precisely because I know the time is gonna come. The things, though, is that I believe part of the reason why Cat Planet works so well is that it was short enough to basically be all done in one session. I don't know if I can trust a game called Super Cat Planet to have the same ability, but I guess we're gonna see for ourselves eventually. Also, yeah, I know, I'm aware it exists and all that, but it's just, you know, in my mind, Cat Planet is that one-shot thing, and exists as a one-shot thing. I don't know if I'm ready to extend the legacy. 2. What do you think of Chaos editions of some game, like the ones from Mario 64 and their Ocarina of Time that exists? They randomly turn cheat codes on and off at random time. I'm currently playing through and it functions differently for Wind Waker. It's actually pretty fun. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a really good idea, and it adds... Like, it's a nice way to add to spice up a game that you know very well. Of course, no, there's also balance. Like, it's possible to go too far and make it an unplayable mess, but at the same time, like, when it does work, it can lead to really magical things. No, I think those are super neat. I think those are super neat. Also, I think they're pretty neat. 3, oh no! They're sandbags, don't worry. And 4, who is the milkman? Well, he's the candy man, except that as he grew older, his candy, recipes started to feel outdated. So instead of, making up new candy recipes and live it up with the rest of the universe, he instead changed career completely. It's kind of an overreaction, honestly, if you ask me, but I mean... It's not the kind of thing a person can really control. I mean, I encourage him in all his future decisions. I mean, I think it's working out as being the milkman. But I'm a little surprised. But hey, it's not my place to judge. Kaika is here and also has music. Everyone has music in a bunch, and then afterwards, there's a whole bunch of none. That's always how it goes. Nuns are everywhere. Going, yo, Bez VGM 1349, Minish Cap of the Zelda, Minish Woods. It's the woods where all the Minishes are at. I get it. And Moot Bread is all, I got this game recently at my local game store. If it wasn't in the middle of Ochral Ages, I'd totally playing it right now. Whoa, Link is really surprised, like, whoa! And the bird is like, wah! I think that's pretty much sums up their interaction in this game I've never played. The Minish Cap is my second favorite video game of all time. So if you really missed out on the portable Zeldas, you should definitely check it out, in my opinion. It's such a beautiful game. I have no idea why it's not as highly appreciated as A Link to the Past. In the general gaming consensus, I'd even say it's way better. Well, to answer that, it's basically because it's not old enough. I think it's more of a play-on-your-own game than something LPable, though. Also, since we're doing old comics now, I've always wanted you to read this out loud. I started to laugh because I recognized the URL being presented here. Exupery is probably the best thing I have ever done. Exupery, The Adventures of... wonderful website. Let me read it out with you. Hello, this is raocow, and welcome to my comic. It's pretty awesome. Hello, this is Rakuo, and welcome to my comic-see. It's pretty awesome and neat and stuff. Hello, it's is raocow, and it's the comic of I and this Rakuo. Hello, this is Rakuo, and this is my comic. Hooray! Adventures of Exupery Adventures of is a 4-page web. You know what? Let's go through the whole thing. It's 4 pages. That's the only good thing I've ever made in my life. Episode 2 is called Super Shoes. Hello, I am raocow, and my name is Exupery. Welcome to the comic. Hello, I am Mr. the Tree. Hello, Mr. the Tree. Would you like some mustard with those eggs, please? Then laser tag, which is a sound effect, and what's happening. And then another panel, it just says carpool tunnel syndrome. The end. Now we get to check out the 3rd page. That one is a little bit bigger, needs more panels. So it starts with, I'm singing along to the oldies, and his friend there says chip chip cheerio. But then, oh no, my best friend was replaced by an evil demon shadow monster. I'm the evil shadow monster, Demon Shadow. I have a brick for $7.95 ahoy. Argument. Hello, this is raocow. Hooray, it is raining evil monster demon blood that will stain my grandma. Oh no, then suddenly there's an action panel where a person goes, attack the what, the muh? Attack the n, and then says, I am attacked. What the hell? Beware evil non-circus. Oh no, I am frightened. Victory for I again. High five me, my friend, the mummy. Glue, glue, glue. Disaster of might. See, this is really the epic middle chapter dark saga, as we can see. But I'll leave up the last page and see that everything turns out okay. Oh no, violence is funny and free. I would like an orange aid. But then the planet is all like, oh, I only have purple aid. But then it's all, evil grandpa, I need to bake the cake. To the shadows. Whoosh, this is the wind. Yes, the wind's talking with itself. Then I am sad because of man made of goods. Surprise, bow wow. Oh no, I am murdered. Hello, I am raocow. Buzz buzz. The real end. I mean, honestly, after all this, I don't know why I bothered to not make anything else ever. This was posted in 2008. I'm a little bit sad that apparently I peaked in 2008, but, I mean, what can you do, man? I'm just trying to coast by with LP since then. Trying to relive my glory days. Trying to reclimb my way inside my lost creative touch. Sometimes I get real close. Sometimes I get just close enough I can feel it. And that's just what's keeping me on going. Yes. Thank you for your question. Belmore's all, hey yo, raocow, music of the week. And the Miracle of Sound Bandcamp website. Man, I'm going all over the internet. It's pretty scary. Khajiit liked to sneak. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but here we are. I guess I need to unblog this. Yes. Maybe? Yes. You can buy now for $1 US dollar or more. Questions and whatnot. What game did you buy, play, and enjoy last that you haven't let's play? Probably Mario Maker is the last game I've bought for myself, Yeah, Mario Maker, and I bought it on launch day, so I haven't bought a game for myself since. Describe yourself in the following format. RPG of the week is Numenera. Okay. I am okay. So like basically like this is like a little thing like that. See, I also this was added. Don't worry. Just paying attention to the lyrics here. Anyways, yes. So I am an adjective, noun, who verbs. All right. Man, this doesn't need to be okay. I have to assume that this means that Numenera is just like, it's an RPG where you just do Mad Libs. Sounds like a pretty cool RPG. Anyways, I am Silly Bovine who speaks. No one out there will say otherwise. Ahmed Yadel is back! I'm saying his name and he has a music that's gonna have to wait the final little bit. Are there any games that you have been wanting to play for a long time and just have not got a chance to yet, or don't own the system it's on, or what have you? I'm not referring to games that you're looking forward to LPing and haven't gotten to yet, just wants to play on your own free time. Honestly, at this point, I don't think so. Like, honestly, I'm fairly fulfilled in terms of video games and whatnot. And I think that, you know, I feel like I'm honestly just flat out well covered. Like, it's not, like, I'm trying to think here, and honestly, I can't think of a game that I'm really wanting to play that I wouldn't be playing for, like, some kind of Let's Play anyways. I don't know, like, at this point, for me, video games have taken on a completely different type of universe. Like, you know, it's like, it's not the same thing. Like, I barely ever play games to play games. And that's been going on long enough that I just don't really think about it anymore. Maybe that's a sad thing, that I can't just see games as games anymore, and you know what? Maybe it's just like it's this kind of deformation that happens when something goes from being a hobby to something, or something you just do in your leisure time, to something you just do, you know? And so, like, I don't want to say that I'm not looking forward to anything, because that's not necessarily true. There's just not a whole lot of games. Oh, wait, no, a second. What am I talking about? Guilty Gear, the new expansion for Xrd, whose name I forgot. That totally fits the bill. That game. Why was I going on about that? I guess sometimes I just need to actually think about something rather than just kind of, you know, go and go after the obvious answer. And Cal, you should know better than that. Yeah, no, yeah, Guilty Gear, totally. Like, 100%, like, more than 100%, like, 5,000%. Thank you for making me remind this and making me just a slightly little bit sad. And your song was Uncontrollable, the Tyrant theme from Xenoblade Chronicle X. We've got versions, but we've got this one. And we've got comments. Probably, yeah. Oh, that's the uploader. I don't want to read what you have to say. Like, what else? Let's see here. So, CUNY Calibers all. This is when you press your control stick and then run and jump like hell. What? What? That doesn't mean anything. What? Nickelfire! You exist. My Mago X2 level was the one where you play as a penguin and fight a pointless boss at the end. You break my heart. Did I mix you up with, I think that's what happened. There's you and there's another person who has another, like, foreign to my ears name that starts with M and has, like, similar letters, and the name is of a similar length. And I keep mixing you up in my memory space. Now I feel super bad about it. But yeah, sorry. No, now that you mentioned that, now I do remember the penguin level. It's just not one I would have remembered as coming from you. Does that make any sense? I hope so, because that's what my sentence going for. Has a music bequest, that's gonna have to wait a little bit. Questions! One, you're Canadian. How's it feel to be a moose face? wow, wow. It's pretty cool because whenever I look at myself in the mirror, I can go, why a long face? And then I cry. 2, is it supposed to be annoying? No, is it's supposed to be annoying? A good excuse for annoying writing dialogue? It depends chiefly on the purpose of your writing, but you need a pretty darn gosh good reason for it, because I understand that the characters are supposed to be finding it annoying. I don't know why you should antagonize your readership, though, you know? Like, that just seems like kind of a bad idea, self-defeating thing to do, and you know what? I'm just sometimes I'd go as far as to say that maybe it's just a writer trying to find an excuse to be a little bit lazy, maybe. I'm sure there are people that would define it as being an okay thing to do, but turns out I'm not one of those people. Last time I asked a question ripped from Strongman email, episode without explanation. I think the gist of it is something like this. What would you be if you could be your own made-up animal? What is its name and what features does it have? Be a giant, like house-sized turtle that can fly and is powered by radiation. No, wait, that is already copyright. Well, I would change the colors to be slightly off in order to be safe in terms of copyright and trademark. I mean, what else? Like, that's like the best life you can have. You have no natural predators, you scare everyone you don't like, you can fly so you can go anywhere, and then you go on the moon. It's like the best thing. 4! Because turtles don't need to breathe air, you see. 4! What is your favorite condiment? Ketchup, as long as there's not too much of it. I'm super original. 5! A powerful kick slams your door open and in walks a future self who said it is vital that you go with him to the future. You know it's truthful because he/you has an eye patch and carries a big gun. What does your time machine look like? Future you helped design it. Okay, and I kept your, I added your art request. It's pretty exciting, right? What my time machine look like? Man, that's kind of hard for me to answer. I guess I'm gonna think about it while I link this YouTube link. This is getting a little bit silly. So here we are. Gotta put it here. See, on the WebZone space, near soundtrack called Bluebird. That's a face. Let's see here. Shay Tenifications all. This reminds me so much of that Akira OST. You guys know what I'm talking about. From Akira? I can see it. Nier Replicant. Nier is a game I am well aware of but never played. This is what I have to say about Nier. Future time machine because see, the thing with time travel is that in order to avoid paradoxes, it needs to be inconspicuous. So it would look like, the vehicle that looks the least conspicuous anywhere ever would just look like a ratty old van that's painted completely white with the words free candy on the side. So people know to stay out of the place and run away, and so I'll be sure that there's no one around when time travel happens. And it's if people actually want free candy, we'll just apologize and then time travel away. We'll time travel away to a time like just slightly before that happened. And like orchestrate for a moose to just like step in their direction on their way to the van so that they won't be there, so we can time travel away safely. It's all about taking precautions. The one thing you need to remember when time traveling that all of fiction seems to forget at some point or another: if you've got time travel, you've essentially got infinite tries. Penguin Emperor's all I sincerely apologize for the incoherence of my comment last week. This dastardly muskrat czar stole my keyboard and made all that garbage up. As compensation for your time and the wear and tear on your eardrums, I've decided to ask you a coherent... I decided to ask you as coherent a question as I can. Here goes. My question this week is, why? Now, the famous fictional anecdote of the high school, college class putting philosophy class, putting that as the single question in a test, with the single student who has passed by answering, why not, is quite a cliche, so I won't go there. And honestly, I think it is kind of a lazy answer. The fictional teacher who has posited that as a question, I believe, could have tried slightly harder. The true answer to why is simply because. There's a distinction between answering why not and because. I'll let you think about it for a moment, by which I mean forever, because I'm moving on. Because there is a reason for everything. Sometimes random chance is a reason in and of itself, but there's an answer to everything. B. Kamikaze! Oh no, he has a giant paragraph, mostly by my fault. Information about kangaroos! I guess it's my national responsibility as an Australian to go on and on for stupid long amounts of time about the weirdo animals that exist here. One way of thinking of No, that sentence is being read correctly. One way of thinking of is think Mike Tyson on a pogo stick that have no respect for boundaries in traffic. Like, there's a reason why they're depicted with boxing gloves all the time. It is because it will smash everything, anything, and anything. Exhibit A is website link that ends with JPEG. And the website is called Smile for More. I hope you're not giving me a virus here, because that's... Oh, geez. Is that a for real, non-modified picture of a kangaroo? That's a lot more strong than I imagined. Jesus. They just go wherever they like, and they're strong and aggressive enough for you to just accept them and leave them alone. Driving through the bush, which is the Australian version of a forest. I don't know why they call it the bush, but still, hitting a kangaroo is way more threatening to you than it is to the roo. Like, most of the time the kangaroo will just get up and leave, and your car will be a pile of rubble. I looked up deer damage, and I got an image like this. So, what you're saying is that they're essentially like moose. That is crazy. Oh, wow, yeah, look at that. It's all, like, wrecked over there on the right. Looking up kangaroo car damage, and you get this... Alright. There's another one. We're gonna get all the car accidents. Hooray. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's, And the kangaroo was alright after that. Okay. It's because of this that most cars in Australia are decked out with massive bull bars. I don't know what's a bull bar, but it looks like we're gonna find out thanks to this mylicense.sa.gov.au address. Jesus Christ, wow. So yeah, big muscly death things. I've talked far too long, stop asking me to explain things because I tend to ramble for freaking ages. I feel bad for talking. Is this talking? Is this considered talking? Whatever, I feel bad for taking everyone's time. Sadness emoticon. Here's an image! All these images. I mean, what am I gonna do with all these? My refrigerator's gonna run out of space. It's called... Wow, Jesus. I'd say this is racist, but apparently it's factual, and it's coming from an Australian, so... Gregory Kokola. If you had to choose, would you rather be a fireball or a rotodisc? A firebar. I'd rather be a rotodisc, because a firebar is a flame, and I know that flames are not sentients. I have no idea what is a rotodisc, so there is a non-zero chance of sentiency in there, and keep my sentienceness. That's how I'm making this choice. Also, you can extinguish Farabar with a sufficient amount of water. I suppose you can extinguish the life of a human also with a sufficient amount of water, so I guess that doesn't mean much. Wilhart, what music instrument would you like to be if you were one? Okay, I don't want to be a percussion instrument because I don't want to be hit all day. And most wind instruments implies a gross human, like, sealing their lips against me all day. So I'll go with maybe with a string instrument, I guess. Let's go with a cello. Those are big giant violins. Those are cool. I'll go with a cello. Cello is my choice. Maiku Wataharu. What song that was once popular just makes you cringe when you hear it? For example, I can't stand the song Handlebars by Flowbots. I do not like the narcissistic tone of the piece. Hey, hey, look at me. I can do this. I can do that. I'm able to do this. I could do that. Just doesn't appeal to me. The lines that are actually sung sound more like childish taunts than anything else in my ears. You might as well just sing nanny nanny boo boo, stick your head in doo doo, ha ha ha, I'm better than you. It's a pretty good rhyme, by the way, Maiku. That's basically what he sounds like to me. I had a coworker, who was sadly no longer with us, torture me with this song and would play it ad nauseum at maximum volume while I was trying to concentrate on my work. I guess the best thing that I can think about would maybe be the... you know what? Anything by Offspring. When I was a teen, I thought that was alright. I thought there was some worth. But then you listen to it now, and not only is it really terrible, with terrible non-lyrics, but like it's not even well sung. It's all just kind of embarrassing for everyone involved, honestly. Yeah. So it's not a specific song. It's more of like an oeuvre. But if anything, I think that makes it even more damning. Also, when I was a kid, I was a whole lot into like not anachronistic, anarchic punk. So that whole thing, I've always had an eclectic taste in music. But back then, I paid there was some, like, I guess nowadays I'm more into, songs and music as a piece, as a whole. Back then I did pay more attention to words and whatnot. I don't know. Things you thought were clever, if you pay attention to them as an adult, they're really, really lame. And then you realize, wait, they were adults when they wrote this. And that's like even worse. Phoenix writes, can you hide me in your nation? Might you assume that, or like, what's your nationality? If you're American, and you're getting worried about that whole situation if Trump wins, don't you worry, the province of Nova Scotia got you covered. Look it up on the internet, but basically Nova Scotia has set up a thing where if Donald Trump were to win, Nova Scotia would willingly accept American refugees. Look up the details if you want to. It's a thing that's happening for real. Phil the Pot has a music request, which may surprise some, but not me. I'm good at saying your name right these days. That makes me happy. Monkey, Journey to the West. Monkey B. Monkey B, lucky. Just waiting for stuff to load here. R-Man DC says it starts at 3:40. Oh, but you need to go through the intro. Oh, that's a monkey's face. And G-Bonds, I'll love this. Somehow I wish it were more like the BBC Olympics promo versions, though. Okay. Man, that's a cover painting. It's kind of scary. Philly Bot, thanks for drawing my request of a beholder. Is it okay if I share it on Tumblr? You know what? Yeah, sure. Like, anyone is free to do anything with these images, honestly, assuming it's not selling for profit somehow. But yeah, if you want to share any of them that you like in particular, go ahead. There's no problem. Anywhere, no matter what medium, go all in. So yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry if it took me a week to answer. But here we are. What is your favorite cryptid? Like Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, etc. Not asking if you believe it exists, just which one you think is coolest. I really like the name Ogopogo, but that's just basically a Canadian Nessie. But I'm still allowed to vote that. I think they're super cool. There's something going on with the music here. This is instrumentation. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, you know, the Sasquatch Yeti, they're just hairy men that got lost. Mothman I'm not as aware of, other than in a movie style, so I don't know where to think there. But yeah, no, yeah, the sea monsters are the coolest. The Kraken's pretty rad. Giant squid, going all wrestling on boats. The Kraken's the best. There's my vote. Vote is for the Kraken, turns out. I did not expect that when I started reading your thing. Tame! Hi, I kinda stopped watching these after video 5 or so, but decided to watch this one. I'm surprised the non-sequitur questions for the non-sequitur YouTuber has hung on for this long. I always thought this would be a more out-of-character Raocal. I was just wondering what you thought about this series and where it's going. Like you continue there, I just want to say that actually when I first read this here, that did make me think, and next week I am going to be doing something a little bit different, but I'll give more details at the end of the video. But to answer more directly, like, it turned, like, it started with more, like, actual questions and, like, as serious answers as I can. But as the series went on, there were more and more silly questions that I will obviously answer in a silly way. Either that, or there's the fact that Raocal the character and Raocal the person are not that distant, if you will. But basically it's just that I respond in turn to the kind of questions. So if these seem very weird and silly, it's because I am receiving a lot of weird and silly answers. Whenever I'm asked something serious, I try to answer in a serious way. And then, yeah, maybe I'll then add a joke answer at the end. That's something I would do in real life too. So it's hard to answer that in this sense. But yeah, I'll give more detail. It's something I want to try next week. Just stick to the end of the video / audio file. Like, I'm sure y'all don't tend to just stop after 20 minutes. But if that's the case, you're missing this part anyways. For last meta question. Do you think we'll ever try 3D games more? I feel avoiding entire dimension limits you from a lot of good games. Unless you are literally a 2D being, then it would be understandable how 3D games could be confusing. I find 3D games awkward to play, personally. Well, okay, third-person games I'm fine, but even then, like, give me new Mario 3D Land, and I find that having to aim your jumps in 3D space kind of awkward and not as simple. But obviously saying that on my end comes with the fact that I've been playing mostly 2D games for quite a long amount of time. So yeah, this would affect my ability to, you know, do and process stuff. I just, I guess what I could answer is that it's not that I'm really purposefully avoiding 3D. It's just that my interest always seems to be around 3D game. Like, I'm looking at 2D games. Like, I look at 3D games that are offered, I'm like, yeah, that looks alright, but it doesn't summon forth, if you will, the same amount of desire to play it. Like, there are games out there that I have played 3D games in my past, and I played Mario 64, I played Zelda, I played Devil May Cry 1 and 3, which are games that I like quite a lot. It's just that, you know, it just never really, I guess, never really got a chance yet to really get going. If you're speaking specifically for while doing a Let's Play, people want to watch me mostly 2D games, I guess. Like, there was a time where I was avoiding it for technological reasons. Like, I didn't think it was realistic for me to be able to record a 3D game. Now it's less true, but instead we're like, it's a situation of what people want to watch. And my personal interests are still kind of in a 2D space. So yeah, it's not that I'm avoiding them. It's just that they're not really coming up in the interest spheres of sorts. If that I think that makes sense. I said that makes sense, so it does now. That's how rules work. But yeah, for the rest, where this is going, I don't know where this whole Patreon video is gonna go in the far future. But there will be rumblings and changes, I think, from now on. And I think it's unavoidable. Because sometimes I do wonder if it's starting to be just, be a series of just more and more of the same. Which is not a bad thing if it's a more of the same of something you like. But sometimes, anyways, like I said, the end of the video. Next time we're going to be doing something a bit different. Yes. D! Music request. This time on Newgrounds. Oh yeah, music requests all need to be via Newgrounds now, right? Well, not all of them. But there needs to be at least one. Those are the laws set in place. Slalom! Slalom. Okay, what's gonna happen here? I heard this! This is from OC Remix, isn't it? Yeah, it's Slalomicide. Yeah, I had that. It's from Maze Dude, I think. And this guy made an animation out of it, I guess. I don't know, I don't care much about the animation, but Slalomicide is good. It's good listening. Thank you for putting this in my headspace here. Last week, you mentioned something about a 1-year Patapon anniversary coming up soon. It's already passed! The first video was January 31st, 2015, and is less than 7 minutes long. So if it suits your fancy, you can pause the video, take a look at it, and give us your thought as kind of looking back. Man, that is kinda insane. Like, I thought I quit my job at the end of February, but I guess I must have quit at the end of January. That's kind of crazy that you guys have been making this spin around for like more than a year. I am so proud and also just so touched that this is possible. It's like, it feels like something that shouldn't be. I feel like I need to make sure this, like, I make this music run, because otherwise in editing is going to be too confusing to go and jump to another video. Like, you didn't really think about this through in the way it's going to be organized. Very really funny when you talk over yourself, e.g. PPR back in the day. Of course, that one doesn't have any questions. The first one with question was on February 7th, and that's a bit longer than 20 minutes. Man, remember when videos were like only half an hour? I don't know what I think about the super long Patreon videos. I don't think it's not necessarily a great thing. But people haven't really been complaining about the length, and I mean, I do want to go over all the questions and whatnot, so in a sense I'm kind of... The size is a little bit decided by the questions and whatnot, so yes. 2. How good are you at ice skating? I assume you've been at least once, because Canada. I've tried, but because of my bad legs/feet, ice skating is extremely difficult, and I've never put in the time to get good at it. 3. Have you ever stayed up late enough to watch the sunrise? Have you ever gotten up early enough to watch the sunrise? Have you ever pulled an all-nighter? Have you stayed up, and have you ever gone up early enough? So I never stayed up early enough, but I did get up early enough to watch the sunrise for different reasons of having to go to a place far away at an early time. I'm an early riser, I'm not a late owl. I don't think I've ever pulled an all-nighter ever. The furthest I've ever stayed up was like something like 4 a.m. because I was trying to finish up a comic that I was reading that I was really into, and I just didn't want to stop, and I was getting towards the end. The comic in question was, I think it's called Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. That kid kept me up until like 3 or 4, and that's as far as I've stayed up to do a thing. 4. Have you ever seen Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis? Yes, I have, when I was living in Alberta, when I was very small and young. They're pretty nice, but I haven't seen them like in adult or teenage age. 5. Last week you mentioned how age kind of loses meaning after age 25. I agree. Have you ever forgotten your age and needed to calculate it based on your birth date and the current date? That's happened to me, and it's super disorienting. Oh, it happens to me all the time. I do not know my... Like, right now, basically, I do not remember my age all that much. Like, I don't keep track of it. Like, if a person asks me my age, I'm just gonna tell them the year I was born. I say, and I let them do the math, I guess. And every time they're surprised because they assume I'm like 10 years younger. So, I don't know what I think about that, but I think that's mainly positive. Just gonna pause the video real quick. Another button. Man, well, instead of unpausing, I stopped the video, so... Oh no, now it's in 2 parts. You won't be seeing any difference. Look! This is the first thing I put up on the Patreon thing. And I called it Hey 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 Hey. Yeah, January 31st. Man, that feels like forever. And it's true, the video is super short. Wow, broken images somehow. That's weird. It's taking a little bit to open.
And it's on. Hey there, well, everyone, in a sense. Hey there, everyone that have contributed to the whole Patreon thing. This is my first...
He sounds so awkward!
I said I do. If I didn't actually, do it. I just...
Also, I was using
kind of not
Photoshop.
Really, didn't yet come back from the relatively pretty high good success that Mr. Patreon did went with us here. I am at over 1K, and at first I was super happy when I got like the full...
Like, I get the feeling that all I'm gonna do is just like sit there and listen to myself.
Regular videos, because I don't want to
But yeah, no, like I feel...
My thing for Magal X2.
Oh, so now I'm just talking business.
It's
kind of boring.
That's possible to do on like a physical message thing that exists.
Very precise and well said.
We voted on for next B-style though.
You can tell that I'm just kind of like not really over it, and that's very amusing to me.
The next sidestep, the next kangaroo invading the nation of France. Vote for his name.
Oh man, and when I go into pure word salad like that, it makes me really embarrassed. Wow, though, it's been so, like, I cannot thank you all enough. I say that all the time, but it keeps being true. I cannot thank y'all enough. And here's the lovely penguin with the music. Hey, you've got a music link. Can I use it on the internet? I don't know, because that's not a thing you wrote. It's just a thing I just said. Sacred Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance. See, because there's 3Ds. That makes it 3D. And Sacred Distance. I don't have a lot of experience with the Hearts of Kingdoms. Nintendo Brothers all. In my opinion, the world never was looked more like a world that was dying. And when I say dying, I don't mean as not our life in the world's perishing. I mean as in fading out of existence entirely. Like when you're not fighting the Dream Eaters, look around. You can see that the world looks as if it's slowly becoming distorted and is gradually falling apart and fading away. Like this is what any other KH world would become if, say, some non-human being or omnipotent force drained its sustaining essence away. The world in question would slowly become like that of TWTNW and gradually fade into darkness, leaving nothing behind. I apologize if any disturbs any of you. I have a very vivid imagination. This music seems fit with the theme of the world dying rather than simply just being the theme of the nobody's world. Man, no time for that. It's video games. Question time! Your house has been overrun with penguins. Penguins are everywhere, from your backyard to your living room to your bathroom. What do you do? How do you cope with this many quirky, flightless birds? Honestly, at that point, I would just consider the home a loss. and I like move on to something else. Like I would try and change apartment or something. Like you gotta admit defeat. There's no way I can do anything there. Of course, I do have a movie. You know, the movie about Jim Carrey being accosted by a family of penguin that I could use perhaps as some kind of manual. But I mean, you just gotta admit defeat in the face, man. There's nothing you can do against this many birds. They're too quirky. They're too cute. I ain't nothing I can do. You can't use a shovel on that. Genesis James has a music request. He's all like, for music requests, this has been my jam recently, and there's a music request. He's gonna have it. Tiny little bit. Telemon. A powerful hipster wizard has given you the chance to instantly learn a new language. However, you may not choose any of the 25 most widely spoken languages. Then I gotta go on a website, as his magic has no power over popular things. Also, no choosing a dead or fictional language. The hipsters are keeping those for themselves. Can I choose C++? I mean, hey, if I get a chance to learn, to become fluent in coding suddenly, I'll certainly take the opportunity. I mean, it's not in the list, doesn't seem like. Yeah. Wait, did you say like top 25? Okay, because I realize I'm now way beyond down to 25. But yeah, like, see, I think I'm cool. C++ isn't any of those, so yeah, there you go. There's my answer. Those darn gosh hipster wizards, I tricked them again! Pizza Pony closes it off this week, again, just to be different. The lottery tickets got thrown away. I am disgusted that you would let this atrocity come to pass. Swear fealty to me and I may yet grant you forgiveness. But really, it's okay. That just means that next year when I send more, I'll include a warning with ne pas jeter on it. And then I can finally go to Genesis James music. Pizza Pony, looks like your music request I won't have time to get to. So we're going to start next week's with that. Hope you don't mind. Here's the Ravenettes. Allie, walk with me. Alright. Just as soon as... Let me scroll down a little bit. I can read that Steve Gertz is all... I like it when the guitar goes... Clangs noise and crash clang! Yeah, that's my favorite part, too, of this song I've never heard before. Am I... Whoa! Why is there 2 tabs? Oh, right. Anyways, forget about that. Yes, Pizza Pony, you exist. Everyone is aware of it. But really, it's okay. That just means next year. Yeah. So also, I haven't yet sent you the money for them, so don't worry about that. So, all right, that's taken care of. Taking note of your music request here. I feel like I'm missing something I remember reading somewhere. If so, like, person that... Like, if there's anyone I've missed by accident, please tell me like usual, and I'll include it with the new thing next week. It feels like I forgot something, but I can't tell what. Anyways, yes. Pizza Pony 1. Does Patreon show how much each Patreon is giving to you each month? Curious how much it takes to be number 1. Currently Cubic Tom. There is a way for me to look how much everyone is giving, but this is not something I want to make public because I don't want this to be like this big old competition kind of thing. And I don't want to put pressure, I don't want anyone to feel like they have pressure to give more or less. So I'm not gonna publicize this information. Silly. 2. What color are your eyes? They're brown. How bad is your eyesight? Fairly, but I've forgotten the number. Like, what's your glasses magnification? I don't remember. They're uneven, with my left eye being significantly weaker than my right one, but I don't remember the exact numbers. Don't even know where the papers are where that's written, so sorry about that. What is the worst tasting things you've had in your mouth beside that rock you crashed into? Wow. What is the worst texture you've had in your mouth besides the rock? See, that one to me would be cheese. If you put a block of cheese against my mouth, inside my, well, against my tongue, I need to spit it out because to me it's as if you just slathered on like poo or something. Now, I don't just need to get it out. I feel like I need to like take a Bristol pad and rub it against my tongue for 2 hours. I need to get every single ounce of aftertaste outside of my mouth as quick as possible. I'm aware that is not a common phenomena. I'm aware that most people desire to eat cheese. But this is the effect it has on me. 4. Would you consider doing a series of narrating your old comics? If you answer no, what if it was voted on in a Patreon vote? It could be like a D-side. I mean, it's a time thing. Like, if... Like, I don't know, like... I don't think my comics are worth that amount of time other than Adventures of Exupery, and that was done today. I don't know, I think I'd be a little embarrassed, personally. I don't think they're of the quality to be embraced by a larger audience. Maybe it's a bad thing of me to think, but it's where my mind is at, sadly. 5. A powerful Mountie is granting you dominion over one of the following elements of your choice: snow, moose, hockey, poutine, kindness, or maple syrup. What do you choose? What does granting dominion exactly means? Like, can I control it like magic? Because, man, I am hesitating between kindness and maple syrup. Maple syrup will keep me fed, but I mean, you'll get diabetes if you only eat maple syrup for the rest of your life. But maple syrup, that's probably maybe where I'd be going, I guess. Like, kindness seems nice, but having the power over kindness seems like a really rude thing to have going. No, like, it seems like an unkind thing to have. And finally, 6... Since it'll be one day too late next week, happy birthday, raocow! Any plans? Also, gambling hype! Just want note, I don't gamble all the time, just sparingly. I don't have any plans. Thank you very much ahead of time for the happy birthday, but no, I do not have anything. Well, my dad's supposed to come down to Sherbrooke, and we're probably gonna do a thing. That's the extent of it, and honestly, that's the extent of what I desire too, so turns out it's alright. And yeah, no, I feel like I left someone out that I remember posting in my text, and yet which I haven't read, so please, please, please speak out, repeat your thing, so that we can do a thing, so I can, go about it as I was supposed to. And afterwards, I'll do the part which I thought of doing next week. Basically, what I think of doing, if you guys think it's a bad idea, please speak out, but, like, for a year now, I've been giving away, like, little bits and pieces about me. You've come to learn about me, but kind of, like, a lot about surface area stuff, and, like, things about my tastes and whatnot, but without a lot of the background information that would go, like, behind it, I think. So I'm thinking of just, for once, trying to open up for real, just kind of buckle down. And I think this would be therapeutic a little bit, but just kind of go over a more pronounced, a more sort of detail of the backstory of raocow. I don't know how much I would want, into how much details I would want to go. Like, I don't know if it would turn out to only be lasting 10 minutes, or I don't know if I would, need 3 entire videos about this. But a part of me think it might be interesting in order for you all to be able to put a context to a lot of the questions I've answered over the past year. I think it might be interesting, but I don't know. I always think I'm a boring person, that I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But it's obvious that peeps out there want to know more about me on a more, perhaps real level. And I think it might be a way to pull this off. I guess by putting this down and by not editing it out of the video after I'm done filming this, I'm kind of cornering myself and forcing me a little bit because I do think it might be fair. There's peeps want to know about me, and I mean I trust y'all enough that I should be able to open up a little bit more, and like just go over about who am I for real? What happened throughout my life that informed who I am and who I've become and who I might become in the future. But although that I doubt I can answer that. But like so basically just an opportunity for me to just speak and tell stories that I can think of going on my own rhythm and not basically, going in the halting one step at a time nature of answering different questions. If you think it's a bad idea or something, please speak out. But otherwise, in this case, I would ask maybe to limit your like weekly questions, so that maybe I can give that a try. I think it might be worth it. Maybe it's gonna be fun. Maybe it's gonna be a train wreck. But there's only really one way to find out, isn't there? With that said, this is raocow. I'm done for this week. Join me next time, hopefully. Something a little bit scary.